and welcome to the APMA podcast. I'm here today with Dan because Jordan is on holiday. Yeah, I want to say he's gone to Gran Canaria. I can't be 100% sure, but I'm sure wherever he is, he's having a good time. Well, I hope he is. So yeah, he'll be back next week. So you got me and Dan today. You got the pleasure of having us in your ears and on your screens. We're going to be talking about ULEZ in a bit. I'm sure people have got some opinions on that. I'm sure we both have got opinions on that as well. But I just want to say off my chest, it's just more a personal thing for me, to be honest, but I need to know why gyms play certain music when you go in, because I've been there this morning. I did my leg session, and I don't know about you, Dan, but do you think that, would you associate the song Jolene by Dolly Parton as a tune that you could work out to?
The get up and go tune. I mean, yeah, it's not one that you would think straight away falls into that category. No. I do like the song, to be fair.
It's a good song.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe they're just they were trying something different, or there's like someone on shift who's like, do you know what? Just not into this get up and go music. Like, love a bit of Dolly Parton, and I'm just gonna play what I want to play.
It's a pattern though. This is the thing. Like, it's not just the Dolly Parton Jolene. It's like the Human League comes on. And I'm like, I like the Human League, but am I going to be deadlifting to that? Probably not. Am I going to be squatting to that? Probably not. It's just a weird choice, but you got to respect being different, I guess.
Yeah. Do you take like your own music in? And
I did have to, because at some points I was like, this is just, I'm actually getting put off by this music. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm trying to kind of get in the zone, and I've got like Dolly Parton in my ears. What's going on?
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Oh yeah, a song or like dictate the atmosphere. We once went to a bowling alley. I can't remember where it was, but they had a jukebox that was linked to the whole bowling alley.
Oh right, yeah.
So whatever you played on jukebox would come out, so everyone had to hear it. So we played a couple of games. Then just before we left, we put in, I think it was Australia. We put in about $20 worth of coins, and then we just put Hotel California on repeat.
Oh, wow.
Just literally, I think you can pick as much. I think we picked about 10 or 20 times. Just literally had it repeating. So I'm sure that place emptied out pretty quick after we left.
Did you leave like pretty sharpish after you chose them songs?
We waited for like 2 repeats just to see whether it would, like, just to watch. People hadn't really noticed by then, because it's quite, it links in, doesn't it? At the end of it kind of links to the start.
Yeah.
So I imagine after that it would have got pretty would have got in your head.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been. Again, it's a great song, but I mean, you can bowl to that. Bowling's probably not as bad as going to the gym, but yeah, having that song on repeat is definitely gonna do some things to you.
I think any song on repeat will grind you down. I'm not too bad with it. I don't mind. If I like a song, I can listen to like it 2 or 3 times in a go. My brother hates that Jim. He's like one time, and he's like, you can't listen to a song after the same song in a row. Which is quite funny. Yeah, I don't mind. I can do 2 or 3, and then I'm done. Yeah.
No, that's fair. I can probably do about 2 or 3, but it's just finding the right song for the mood. That's the problem. But with bowling, you can pretty much pick anything, to be honest. It doesn't really matter. But to pick Hotel California 10 times that's a bit rough.
I feel like in the gym, if a good song in the gym, you get into it, don't you?
Yeah. And I feel like it's weird because it has no physical change, but there's a couple of songs that I've played where I'm like trying to push a weight or pull a weight, and I'm like, I'm done. Like, I'm about to give up. But then I hear that song come on, and I was like, I'm gonna try and push through it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Sorry, mate. I've turned my phone on airplane mode, and I don't know.
Jesus, airplane mode doesn't work on iPhones.
With my laptop. No. Yeah, it's so weird. It's always happening. I don't get a call all day, and then literally jump on this, and then people start calling me. Right, decline, so that should be all right. Sorry.
Banging. That's fine. It's all right. It's all right. Everyone's getting calls. I mean, I don't even know if I put mine on silent, to be honest.
It must link from a laptop because it's literally on airplane mode. So
that's weird how it would still work on airplane mode though.
Yeah, that's yeah. I don't get that. It's not my phone. Yeah, weird. God knows.
Oh, technology.
It must be linked to my laptop.
It's a cruel beast. It's a cruel beast. Let's talk a little bit about ULEZ. I'm sure there'll be people in the chat. I know there's a few people who regularly watch who live in or around London, so this is obviously going to affect you guys more than me. But yeah, it's bit of a shit deal for you guys if you own a car that's not compliant. I think it's £12.50 a day you have to pay if you're using a car that isn't compliant.
To be honest, I never really took much notice of this because my car was a hybrid. Well, it was like it's a little bit electric. But now I've got the Jeep. I'm fucked, basically.
Yeah.
Because that is just a diesel monster.
When was it made?
2015, the Jeep was.
That might just be okay. Because I think 2015 was the cut-off point for where they introduced a new... I think it was like Euro Class 6 or something like that, where they all had to be compliant for certain, basically emissions regulations. But I think if you had any older than that, I think you would have to pay the £12.50. It's not like a 100% rule. Anything made in 2015 onwards is compliant. It's just most of the vehicles that were made that sort of time are.
Right. Okay.
But the problem really lies in if you don't have a compliant vehicle, one, you've got to pay £12.50 every single time or every day you go into London or go into the ULEZ charging zone. And then if you don't want to pay the £12.50, you've then got to get another car. And at the moment, that is probably right now is probably one of the worst possible times to be forced to get another vehicle. Yeah. One, because
to be honest, that's creeping up to my area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put it on
close.
I'll put it on the screen. I don't know because it doesn't say on here. I'll see if I can get a better map. This one's better. I'll zoom in on that one when I put it on. Yeah, because you've got pretty much like it goes right on the border of Kent. On the border of Essex, Hertfordshire, Buckinghamshire, Surrey and Berkshire. So it's expanded from pretty much, it's almost doubled in size, over doubled in size, basically the zone.
Yeah, it's got some bits on the M25 as well, isn't it? So if you go in the M25, that's annoying because it's like, it's just spreading over little bits on the M25. So if you go on the M25, you're going to get done. I'm not happy with that.
It's I think the green line on here, obviously for the audio listeners I'll have to describe it to you, but for you watching, the green line where my cursor is, that was the original in 2019 when that came in. The purple is now the expanded area.
Oh, so that one, that it looks like you can go on the M25 and be all right. I was looking at one from the Daily Mirror and it's got bits of the M25 covered in. So that wouldn't be the end. I mean, the most would just go anything past the M25 is green. Yeah, and then because it's like weird, isn't it? I suppose it will tell you. I guess it will have some signs or something.
What's kind of weird is this bit, like towards the top right. If I try and zoom in here, oh god, fucking hell. Yeah, you got a bit here that's kind of. It almost looks like they've excluded the M25, but then expanded it further.
Yeah, that's worrying, isn't it? Yeah. They've kind of they've added that bit in. I bet that whoever lives there is pissed off.
Yeah, because that's just like what is this bit here as well on the left hand side? Like, does this mean you can go in that area? that road, that major road there, it's so confusing how they've done it. But yeah, it's people are not happy about it, and I understand why.
Is this from the date? That's from yesterday, isn't it? The date on it.
What this? Yeah.
Scroll back. It says 29th of
29th.
August, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the 29th when it actually started. Like they actually now are fining people, or you're having to pay £12.50. I think it started today or yesterday.
Yeah, I gotta be careful where I drive in the old Jeep.
Yeah,
Or take the other car.
As we'll get to on in a bit, you don't even have to be caught by coppers or anything like that. They just got automatic cameras that read your number plate and dish out fines. If you're not paying the £12.50. I think the fine is £180, but they do that usual thing where if you pay it within 14 days, you get a 50% discount.
So
90 quid.
I got done on when we went to the marathon, the Brighton Marathon, on the bridge, and I forgot to pay it, and then but the letter went to the car's registered for the business, so it went to the business address.
Yeah.
And we didn't have access to it, and I went to my accountant, and he wasn't there, and then it kept going up. 360 quid it got to.
Bloody hell!
Expensive. I know, expensive trip.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, they are pretty quick at dishing out some fines and that.
Yeah.
I remember in Norwich, there's like a main drag in the city centre where cars aren't allowed to go. There's only buses, taxis, that sort of stuff, and cyclists are allowed to go down there. But I didn't know. I just went down there. I think it was late at night. There's hardly any traffic. I just went down there because I didn't really know where I was going in the city centre. This is probably like, I'd say 2015, 2016. So I'd only been driving for about 2-3 years. I didn't really know where I was going. So I went down there, and literally within a week, I got a automatic penalty notice sent to me with picture evidence saying this is your car. Been taken, photos been taken of your car. No, I think that was 80 quid I had to pay back then.
Yeah, they're never cheap.
No,
it's a weird thing because you always feel like they're a bit not as bad because if I pay it now, I get it half price.
Yeah.
So you always feel like, but it's still a lot of money.
Yeah. They're so quick as well. Like if you try and dispute it, and it just takes forever. Which
that's mad. I remember the congestion charge. So if you look in the centre,
there's the red bit. Yeah,
I remember that kind of coming in, and like how big of an area that was. So I used to drive into London to do water coolers, and I used to hit that quite a lot. But now look how big that's got. Look how much it's like huge. So is it £12.50 for the day?
I think it's £12.50 for the day. Yeah. How long? I don't know what they class as a day. Is it 24 hours? Do they go by work time? Like average day of work is like 9-10 hours. I don't know how they do it, but it's £12.50 a day. Which that's going to clean you out if you run like a business that's constantly going into London. You're going to get cleaned out.
Yeah, you've got to change your vehicle, ain't you?
But the the shit thing about it is, like, I think you get like £2,000 scrappage to change your vehicle. I've already said it's the worst time to probably buy a compliant vehicle. One, because if you get a used vehicle, all the prices of used vehicles have gone up because of the supply chain issues with new vehicles. If you go for a new vehicle, you're looking at least, I'd say, in the range of 20 grand, at least for like the bare minimum sort of vehicle that would be compliant, new.
Yeah.
On top of that, if you go for the finance option, which is going to be terrible, what's the base rate now of interest? Probably like 5-6%.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to be looking at a horrific interest on that. So it's not a good time. And another thing about it is that if you live outside of any of the 32 boroughs of London, you don't get the scrappage scheme. So if you live outside, basically, of the ULEZ area, you don't get access to the scrappage scheme benefits.
Yeah.
So you're
I'm
just
just looking
fucked.
I'm looking at my logbook now. It says if it's. Oh, mate, how long is this? So if it's registered, diesel cars at meter standard are generally those first registered with the DVLA as new after September 2015.
Oh god.
Mine was August 2015.
No.
Yeah.
That's
Date
a
of first
joke.
registration August. So I'm literally that car's 1 month off that ULEZ. I don't know. You can check. That's annoying.
I think it says somewhere on here.
Check your vehicle now. And you can put in your reg and your plate. It's a bit annoying. Okay, 15. Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Euro 6 emission standards that it has to meet.
Operate.
That's so crazy. That's 1 month, and that it could be the entire difference. It's just 1 month.
Your vehicle. Here's. Yeah, I have to pay.
Jesus.
That's annoying. That's kind of good. I mean, it's good for doing this episode, so I'll get to.
Yeah. You now know.
Yeah, where it operates, charges and times. The ULEZ expanded. Yep, we know. We are looking at it right now. Set up auto pay. That is frustrating. Yeah. So yeah, basically I can't take it past the M25.
Yeah, that's.
But I can go on the M25.
Yeah. It's crazy. The difference is crazy between petrol and diesel as well, because it's saying here that petrol cars that meet the ULEZ standards are generally those registered with the DVLA after 2006. So there's like a 9-year difference between the diesel and the petrol cars being.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe I'm 1 month off.
That is crazy.
Imagine if I lived in that zone. I mean, I'm not far from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would, because again, if you live in the zone, you just have to pay every day.
Yeah.
If you're in the zone.
Yeah, if you're in the zone and you use your vehicle in the zone, you just got to pay every day, I'm assuming.
Oh, mate, that's horrific, isn't it?
Yeah. Because I think you're around like north-ish of London, aren't you?
Yeah. Let me see. Hopefully they don't. When did they expand it before?
2019 was when that green area was introduced.
So yeah, at the minute it's expanding every 4 years.
Yeah.
12.50 a day times 30 days, 375 quid a month extra.
Jesus Christ, man.
That's mad, isn't it?
It's a mortgage payment. Yeah, it's like Jesse said in the chat. Her car was 5k, and then when they announced it, my car went up to 9k when I bought it. It's a joke.
Really?
Yeah. I suppose it's going to be just an even more slap in the face to people wanting to buy new, whether used or new vehicles, because it's the supply and demand shit all over again. Like once you force people into a decision, that's going to have a knock-on effect to the price of what they need to buy. So,
man, that is tricky. Yeah.
Wait, what? Jesse just said if you live there, you have to pay every day, even if you move your car 2 foot. If it's caught on the camera, you have to pay. Savage. I thought she was going to say you have to pay even if you don't use your car. I was going to say that would be. That'd be right. Well, there are basically rights about it.
So what did she say with the price of the car?
So when she was going to buy the car, it was 5,000. But when this got announced, it then jumped up to 9.
What? Because it's compliant.
Yeah, I'm guessing so. So it's more valuable.
Yeah. That's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy.
I can't believe mine's a month off. That is.
But
that'll change anyway. Those dates will change. It's like next year they'll just change it again, won't they? Because they'll be like,
They'll just push it
Just try-
forwards. Yeah.
Just keep pushing it and changing it.
But the thing about this is that I think there will be a lot of cities looking at this going, if this works, and well, not if it works, if it's just kind of accepted with minimal backlash. Not that they've got minimal backlash. There's a load of people cutting cameras down, which is, obviously against the law, but you take it into your own hands, don't you?
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen a guy with about 40 of them just in his shed. and it's like, all you need is this Allen key and this. It's like, it takes them 3 hours to put up, and it's like, it takes me 10 minutes to put it down.
Yeah.
The thing, like with that, it's a bit like Robin Hood, isn't it? I don't mind that. I'm like, fair play to him.
Yeah.
Because who does it benefit, essentially? It's like,
well, the argument is from the start that they're trying to make the air cleaner in London, which, okay, fair enough, but there's got to be a better way to balance this out than just charging everyone who enters London into a non-compliant car £12.50 every day.
Yeah,
it's just got to be.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to change the price it's going to cost per day to go in, at least give people a little bit better terms for the scrappage scheme. Or maybe even now, to bring it in now, when the financial situation is what it is, I just feel like you could have just postponed this. Even if you changed nothing, you could have pushed it back maybe like 2 years, just to see what the situation was. But they just couldn't be. They're just not bothered about that. They just bring it in. But the thing about it is, I don't want to get too political about it. But people, they're blaming. I think his name's Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London. I'm sure it is. But this was actually brought in before he was London mayor. So he just carried it on, which is just as bad and expanding it, and I don't agree with it. But it's kind of, I think it's just something that was already in the plans to do anyway. But it's crap.
Yeah, it's I wonder if they've got any further expansions. ULEZ future expansion.
The thing about this is, if this is kind of goes, let's just say a year down the line, and they're still operating the cameras and people are buying new cars because they're forced to, I feel like this is going to be replicated in other cities in the UK. Especially cities that, okay, most cities in the UK probably aren't as dense as London, but there's a few that I could definitely see operating this.
Yeah, it's I'm just checking my other car. Well, my sister's car, isn't it?
Yeah, Jesse says the cameras get put up, and pretty much overnight someone will cut them down. People are going to do it because they don't agree with it. I feel like it's been brought in without a lot of consultation. To be honest, it's just been like, you've got to deal with it.
Where does Jesse live? What area?
Kent, I believe. So I think she's outside the zone.
Got ya. Yeah, because that's the thing, innit? It's bordering on all of the other. And that's why it's the shape it is, because it's bordering on the boundaries for the other counties.
Oh yeah.
So obviously, if they did go any further into any other little bits, they're going to be encroaching on other counties, and then you're opening up another can of worms, because it's operating in that county.
Yeah.
Which means they could put it anywhere else in that county. Yeah, it is. Because the thing is, once you do that to like a place, you just literally, people are going to get rid of those vehicles, because it's just that area is where they live, they're going to have to get rid of those vehicles because of the extra monthly cost.
Yeah. I mean, when you worked it out, would you say 370 quid or something?
75 a month, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's a lot of extra money.
Man, as I even living here, and here is living much cheaper than living in London. But living here, there's no way I'll be able to afford that if they brought that into
No.
where I live. Absolutely no way.
So then you're going to sell your motor and
Yeah.
get something that's like more compliant.
Mm.
But again, what happens if a year down the line they change it again?
Yeah. You buy a used vehicle built or registered in 2015, maybe late 2015, then they move the goalpost, say, well, no, it's now going to be from 2016 onwards that this is
I can't
compliant.
believe I'm a month off. That is
a joke.
That is like, well, I'm not even a month. I'm actually about 2 weeks, which is very frustrating.
Honestly, you've got to have a cut-off point, I suppose, but that's just
That's just unlucky.
That
is just unlucky.
That is sickening. But yeah, there's plenty of people cutting the cameras down, and I'm sure it would happen elsewhere if this come in. What I would say is that I think this does link back to a previous episode we did about the 15-minute cities. Because this, for me, would go hand in hand with the 15-minute cities, is this extreme crackdown on any high emissions vehicles. Well, I wouldn't even say they're high emission, but they don't meet the threshold that they want them to meet. Because now you can control the movement of people. Essentially, they're either going to have to walk, bike, buy another vehicle, or take public transport. So it definitely feeds into the idea of the 15-minute cities, in my opinion.
Yeah. And also as well, I'd love to see the data on how like I doubt it's all the cars that are the problem.
Yeah,
like it's probably all the businesses and all all the other stuff that's in there. Like as well, if you look on the road, most petrol cars are past 2006 anyway.
Yeah.
Still a few diesel cars under the two, but yeah, it's like, well, especially in London, like how many people live in those areas have got a petrol car? There aren't. It's a weird. I don't know. To me, it feels like a starting point to keep changing the goalposts.
Yeah.
Like they've already proven by expanding it. They do that, then they change the dates, and then they slowly move the goalposts. So then, before you know, this whole place is a full congestion charge, and you can only go in if you're fully compliant with a fully electric car.
Yeah. There's definitely. It's not just to try and clean the air of London. It's not the sole purpose.
It's a money make. That's it. That's my thing. It's a money making scheme. Because I get it. I'm all for like a better environment and cleaner air. Like I'm all for that. And if the data prove that this 100% worked, then fair play. But it's to me, it's not a coincidence that it's one of the most affluent places in the country. So it's like it's like another form of tax. And just another control system mechanism that just they put something in like you have to do this.
Yeah. You could have been.
It's a weird one.
You could have been living in there for all your life, and you've gone from one day being able to drive into London as much as you want, no problems. Now you got to pay £12.50 per day, or buy another car.
Yeah. Because let's be honest, who does it really affect? It's going to affect people who live in there, but are more towards the breadline. If you're rich, it ain't going to be a problem because you're going to have the brand new cars.
Yeah, as a general rule, I suppose if you are able to afford a property towards central London, you're probably not going to be as put out by people who live outside of the zone that have to travel into London.
Yeah, exactly. That's the annoying thing, because people got, if you're from not around there, you can be like, oh, well, if you live there, you got enough money to do it. But it's not targeting those people. It's actually targeting people who are kind of on the breadline.
Yeah.
It's just another hindrance for them.
Yeah. It's you look at like people like taxi drivers.
Mm.
I can't imagine what that's like. Like every single day, you know, every single day you're going to work, it's going to cost you £12.50 before you even set off.
Yeah, and taxis aren't cheap either, man.
No.
They're like an actual taxi vehicle is expensive.
Mm.
So it means they're now basically saying most taxis are going to be, I guess, diesel because it's cheaper,
Yeah.
or you get more distance.
Yeah.
So they're going anything after 2015. Let's see how much. Let me just have a look how much a cab is.
Oh, this will be horrific.
2000 and I'll just go 2016 black cab. I don't even know what the model is for a black cab.
I don't really know what the specifications to make it a cab really are. I guess it's the way the seating is done. I'm guessing depends how big.
Yeah, my dad used to have one.
Well, like an old style one.
Proper, yeah, old
Nice.
taxi. Yeah, it was cool. Oh, it wasn't that cool.
Is that a second thought?
It's cool looking back, but at the time it was embarrassing because it had the yellow light on it as well, and like people were like flashing down all the time. 66. I don't know.
They ain't gonna be cheap.
Nah, but some of them. For a guidance, a 2018 London electric one is 39,500. So 40 grand.
40 grand.
For 2018. Let me have a look.
And they give you $2,000 for your car.
Yeah. 2000. Oh, this one's like $4 grand, but I don't even know the red joint. Yeah, 38 grand.
Jesus. So I think also heavy goods vehicles, coaches, that sort of stuff. I think they don't have to pay a ULEZ charge; they have to pay a LEZ charge.
Right.
So I think
that's low emissions.
Yeah, low emission zone charge. I don't know how much that is. I would assume it's less than £12.50. But I don't know.
Yeah, imagine you've got like a business operating that area, and then you've got a fleet of, let's say, like a fleet of like trucks for transporting and like diggers and different things that like super expensive new, and then all of a sudden you've got to upgrade all because they're all diesel.
Yeah,
you've got to upgrade all them. Anything past September 2015, you've got to basically get rid of.
Yeah,
you're going to pay an extra. Yeah, because you could have a fleet. Could be someone with a fleet of like 20 or 30.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy, man. And if you've got like anything in haulage is like really expensive.
Yeah.
Easily you could be spending over $100,000 on a new truck.
Yeah. Imagine you're a business based there with a haulage company with a load of trucks, and now all of a sudden you've got to get all brand new ones.
Disgusting.
And then it's like, then you obviously got to sell those ones to, like you say, it's the one thing is like other cities doing it as well, because then, you could be driving from one place to another, and before you know it, you've got to pay an extra 25 quid just in low emission zone.
Yeah. I wonder how long it will take for the £12.50 charge to go up as well.
Exactly. Yeah. This is my thing with them. Like, if they're for the greater good and they can prove it, I'm all for it. But like, they never feel like they are.
No.
They always feel like sneaky as well.
Yeah. I think obviously they're incentivizing you to use public transport. But I'm sure, I don't even know if it might have been you or Jordan who said this a couple of episodes ago or something about the actual quality of the air on the underground is awful.
Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah,
really bad. And so if they're incentivizing you to use the underground rather than, using your vehicle, they probably want to take a look at the emissions that are coming up from the underground, because they're not great.
Yeah.
As far as I can see, there's you've got two sets of people in terms of interpreting the data from the research that's been done on whether it is beneficial or not. I think a figure that I had, I don't know if it might be on this article, to be fair. But yeah, there was...
What I hate about all of these as well is the process of the fines. They're always like, it's always like so astronomical compared to the actual first charge. Like you miss it for one day and then it goes from like 12.50 to like, 100 quid, 120 quid. It's like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, just charge me double. Even double, like when you say it out loud, that's quite bad. But like, yeah, because it's some, you might drive in, not realise. I mean, then you've got to set up an account, register, get it sent to your address, make sure everything, all the boxes like ticking. Like, it's just another thing to remember. And like I say, this is probably going to catch a lot of people on the way. I'll be interested to see the data on how many people just get fined.
Yeah.
Just for not realising.
Yeah. And it's obviously because you don't realise, you don't pay the same as what you did if you did realise, because you would have paid the charge. And the penalty is always multiple times the original charge.
Always, yeah. It's always like, it's always... And that's even if, like you're registered to the right address, everything's, the letter comes directly to you, you get it in time, it's within the 14-day period.
Yeah.
You can easily get caught out.
Yeah, according to this research that was done in 2020, found the daily charge has helped to reduce roadside nitrogen dioxide levels by 44%. I don't know if I don't know if that's either really, really good or okay. I don't know what the usual levels would be, to be honest. But it's just the way that it's been done. I think it's sticking in a lot of people's minds about it.
Yeah. So let me read that again, bro. From 2021, it was expanded 18 times the size of the congestion zone, include everything within the North Circular Road. Yeah, look, 6 months after, almost 94% of vehicles met the emission standard.
Yeah.
But also as well, what's weird, and I guess it is because there's so many, all you're doing with all those cars is just pushing them somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, you're not really, you're still, it might be congested in a zone, but like you're just pushing all those cars to other places. What about those? So all you do is moving that percentage, spreading it out
elsewhere
around the UK.
Yeah, I just think it's London. I will flat out refuse to just drive into centre of London anyway. Even before this, I was like, nah, it's not for me.
Exactly,
You take into account you already had the congestion charge there anyway. I know it's very like towards the proper centre of London, but you've got to look at parking is a massive issue in London. It costs so much. Like running and maintaining a car already in London costs so much. It just adds another, like you said, £375 to just a monthly outlay for nothing, for owning the car that you own.
If the data suggests that it does work within that area, so bar the people that live in that area, I think that's unfair. There should be some sort of scheme that they could do to help them. If it's like, look, just you have to go around it, as long as you can go around the M25 to get to places, that's kind of fair enough. But it's if it encroaches on the M25, that's a bit annoying.
Yeah, I think Jessie's brought up something that I forgot to mention. I did see. So she said so many people are complaining about it for no warning signs saying about to enter. I did see somewhere that I think it was an article that said that there were councils or certain parts in these boroughs that were removing signs that told people that it was now a ULEZ zone. So that does fly in the face of what you were saying, which is it is just literally there to catch people out and make money off them.
Yeah. That's my issue with it. If it's all fair, I don't mind. If the research shows it works, but again, that there should be like there should, with the money that they make from it, there should be some sort of like give back to the people that live in those areas that are effective, like, the scrappage scheme, or it's also put towards something better. It just seems to me that they get the money, and then what do they do with the money?
Yeah.
Like, what do they do with all that extra revenue? Does it go towards building?
That's a question that's always been asked of anything involvement the government or any schemes or anything they do. Is there's no clear trail of where the money goes.
No. It's funny, isn't it? Because they say about this, about having, like going cashless and having the money linked to a bit like on the blockchain and having it fully transparent.
Yeah.
I'd love that with the government. Imagine if all the government's transactions were on the blockchain.
Yeah.
Like, imagine how many backhanders get done through
100%.
All that would have to go.
Yeah.
Because everyone would just be able to instantly expose it. All the people, doing like tenors for contracts, all of this stuff, you find people would be a lot more willing to pay fines if they could follow where the payment.
Yeah.
Imagine you saw your fine and then you saw the transaction of where it went.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, that actually went to a recycling centre in that district. That's cool. But if you follow the money, like, I wonder how much of that goes to good.
Yeah, I have my doubts about how much goes to good, to be honest. I think there's the whole thing about the CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies coming in, is the whole idea is use the blockchain technology, but then implement the exact same thing we have for traditional finance, which is where you don't get to see where the money goes. Use technology and apply it to what we already have to make the system continue as it always has been.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm just going to try and do a quick bit of maths. I don't know if this is going to work out or not, but I've just searched. There's 2.56 million cars licensed in London, and it said in that article that 94% of vehicles driving in the zone met the strict emission standard. So that meant 6% of 2.56 million. I was going to try and do how much that would generate in terms of money.
Yeah, it's been quite a lot.
It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, but 2.6. So it's like, it's still 100 and what, like 40,000 vehicles, 50,000 vehicles.
Right. So on
about 160,000 vehicles times that per day. It's a lot of money.
94. So times 6. So there's 153,600 vehicles, according to these stats, that are not compliant with the charge. So if I times that by £12.50, that's almost 2 million a day.
A day, yeah. Times that by 365 days.
Oh,
I guess that's if all of them are in that zone paying daily, but that is mad.
700,800,000 a year.
Yeah. And where's that money going?
Yeah. I expect most of it's going on the cameras to be replaced.
Yeah. That's the irony about it all, and then a lot of them will get ripped down.
Yeah.
Probably if you dig into the person who owns that camera company, is probably related to someone within the people who make the decisions.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's happened before, and it's definitely going to happen again.
Yeah.
Those sort of backhanders, like you were saying. How much do the ULEZ cameras cost to replace? Just out of interest. Because this could be the most false economy fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Each new camera site costs between £10,000 to £15,000.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Let's have a look. I don't know what it means by camera site. Does it mean like a group of cameras? Let's have a look.
I suppose, yeah, if you have to put the infrastructure in for like it connect it up to the internet. I mean, it's still way inflated than it should be. But it's government in it. It probably costs about $3,000 real money, but government's going to be,
they whack the fucking money on when there's government involved.
It's like we bought this digital camera off this company that's like £300, but we're going to charge £2,000 because now it's going to the government.
Yeah.
Which is standard, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that there's in total there should be around 750 cameras. 350 on the initial boundary, and now 400 added for the enlarged zone. So that's a lot of cameras.
Yeah, you are fucked, aren't you, if you're driving anywhere with your car, because you're just going to get. You could drive from here to London and back in the day. Imagine you're from just fucking you come down from Scotland for the day. You had no clue all this is going on. You just drive in. You could get, by the time you could go through a few speed, like you get done speeding a couple of times, miss your bridge, congestion charge.
Yeah,
you could be it could be like $1,000 out in the day. And lose your license, and you're not really, you're not really done anything major. You just gone through a few little speeding lights.
Yeah, I just done a little bit of quick maths as well. Again, don't know how foolproof this is, but I put 750 cameras times £10,000, which is the minimum it says a new camera site costs. That's 7,500,000 they've spent on cameras. Obviously, there will be ones that have to be replaced. So, and that is the low estimate, not the high estimate.
Yeah.
So, in the long run, it's probably still a massive money maker for them.
Massive money spender, yeah. That's my issue with it, is that I'm all for a greener planet and doing stuff that is better for the environment. But one, I think there's better ways, and two is I just don't trust how they operate. Now, if they were to come out and go, right, here's a ledger of all the money that's coming in, and here's exactly where it's going.
Yeah,
it would make me. I'd be all for that. I'll be like, okay, because then it's at least it's doing some good. But rarely does it do any good. I remember watching a documentary about recycling in the UK, and it's like it made me. I recycle as much as I can, but like my heart's not in it. Like it was. Basically, there's a quota. If they ship containers out of the UK, it's classed as 100% recycled.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter. Okay. Doesn't matter where it goes.
Yeah.
Whereas, so if you to fully recycle a container in the UK costs double the amount to send it out of the UK.
Yeah.
So all the councils and all the recycling companies were filling containers up and shipping them off.
Yeah.
And now that is 100% recycled within the terms of the legislation, but it's just getting shipped off to like Eastern European, like Poland.
Yeah.
And this guy was fighting. He's going to these places and it's finding all our rubbish, all mixed, all the recycling mixed in with shitty rubbish and dirty rubbish. And China used to go to China. They've started refusing it now because there's so much of it.
Yeah.
But what a stupid system.
Yeah.
Like, and that's through the government. Like, all they have to do is go, okay, we'll change that system so that because this guy had a recycling factory in London, and he's like, I'm probably going to go bankrupt and out of business because the councils aren't using me because it's cheaper to send the problem away.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing is like, and these type of things, the kind of like, it's the same kind of stuff. Is like we just move the problem somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like deal with the problem.
Yeah.
Spend the money that you get off the people to deal with the problem.
You see quite a lot now. I've seen it quite a lot with the shopping that I get. But there's a lot of the packaging that there was that big fight back. Oh, why do you have a load of plastic packaging on stuff? And it's like, fair enough. So for a while, the plastic packaging kind of died down, but now I feel like it's back, and it's back with a vengeance. Because when you actually look on the back of most of this plastic packaging that you're meant to recycle, it actually says you're not allowed to recycle it at home. So you can't put it in your recycling bin at home. It won't get recycled. You need to take it back to the shop to recycle it. And if you're getting your shopping delivered like I do, why should I go to the shop just to recycle something that should be recyclable in the first place?
Yeah, and they're probably not going to recycle it anyway. They just ship it off somewhere else. I think it's like Scandinavian countries, might be like Denmark and Sweden. So they burn a lot of their rubbish and turn it into energy.
Yeah.
And it's like, why aren't we spending money in this country doing that? Why aren't we putting my issue with councils and governments in the way they operate is it's a backward mechanism. So it's like they get all their taxes and all their money and they have pots, and then people bid for these pots within what they need. And and it's just not allocated correctly. Like sometimes, they'll be like, oh, we're going to it's such a weird way to, like, if you operate a business like this, you'd be bankrupt within a year. Imagine that, we've got 10 million, we're going to put that towards that. But they only need 6 million. But they're going to take the 10 million because they'll have way to spend it. But this section here is dying and it needs like 4 million. And you're like, oh, we'll only give that 1 million. It's like, if they run it like a business, like if it was all run, I mean, it's very difficult to do that, but I don't know a solution. But yeah, it's just run backwards. It's like they get the pot of money and then divvy it out, and it's not the way to run. It doesn't go to where it's needed, the money.
No. Joe Boy said, give it to the driver, Lozzie. I'm assuming you mean the recycling when he comes to deliver, or when they come to deliver. I don't even know. That might be a genuine thing, but I've never been told that. It just literally says on the back.
I'm not sure they would take it. Our drivers that we get, I'm not sure would. They're not even happy taking a split bag of sugar back.
No, they do. They don't like the subs.
I might try it next time. Just give them all my rubbish.
Yeah.
There you go, mate.
There you go, mate.
What's this? That's for recycling.
Take it back. That's for the substitute fucking butter you gave me, you twat.
Yeah. We didn't have any tuna, so we've substituted with a lamb chop. Oh,
that's the same thing, isn't it? Really?
Thanks. Yeah, their substitutes are just.
Yeah.
I'm sure people just like, what can we get away with?
I mean, when I did it, I mean, I never did it. That was never my primary role at Tesco's when I worked there. But I always get called on at like Christmas time to help out. But I always felt like the substitutes that I gave people were actually half decent. But then I'm seeing regular people just put in, like, say if someone wants shreddies, they'll just lob in, I don't know, Wheatos. I'm like, they're not even remotely the same. Surely there must be a better.
It's funny. It is funny, like, because it's all down to someone's opinion, isn't it? Yeah. It's like people are so funny with what they like and what they don't like with your taste. Like, if I order a packet of biscuits and you send me hobnobs, like, I'm going to be pissed off because I hate hobnobs.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of hobnobs.
But if you love hobnobs and then you got a substitute for a packet, you're going to be like, oh yeah, God, that's a great deal.
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
Going to love that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what was the worst one I've had. It might have been when we ordered some cheese, right? There's just a regular, like, standard block of cheddar cheese. And they sent us, I think it was Dairy Lee or something. I was like, this is literally the consistency of cream cheese. You're telling me you didn't have any other, like, block cheese. You're telling me you didn't have that. Just lobbed it in there. So
I think these has to be the rules that they follow, and I'm sure that someone has set these. But if you're going to do a substitute, it has to be more expensive, or a better brand, and you have to have more than what you. Do you know what I mean? If I order 500 grams of something, even if it's like basic or whatever, you can't send me 250 of a better
Yeah.
I need the same amount. Like
Yeah.
if you're messing up, so you need to give me 2 of these. You have to give at least the same volume or weight,
Yeah.
and it needs to be a better brand or more expensive if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And it needs to be at least the same product.
That would be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some really bad substitutes, and I'm sure everyone else, but yeah, there were some right wrong-uns at Tesco and all work there, and there would be people just see what they could get away with. Like someone's asked for a pineapple and they give them like a small suitcase.
Yeah. There must be a forum somewhere of just like funny substitutes. Because it is hilarious what you get.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when I was doing it, it would tell you. I know there was some products that wouldn't be able to tell you for like mostly like non-perishable stuff. It probably wouldn't have a good substitute for, but it would automatically tell you if it hasn't got that in stock. You pick this. So most of the time the work's done for you, but the time where people actually have to use their own initiative, that's where it goes a bit awry.
To be fair, like if my missus usually orders, so I just collect it at the door when it comes. So I never know what's coming. So like the guy like got some suit. I'm like, yeah, mate, yeah, whatever. Like I never check them. And then like there was a time when my missus come back, and I thought this is a bit of a weird shop. It looks a bit different to what we'd normally get.
Yeah.
And but so I just unpacked it, and it just it just didn't feel right. Usually you get similar stuff. It just felt weird. There's stuff in there. And I just like kind of put stuff out, and then she came back. She's like, "This isn't even our shop."
Oh no!
They just delivered at like someone's total different shop, and I was like, "Oh, that's why." I mean, the dog food should have given it away.
Yeah.
We don't have any dogs.
Well, I had something similar, not exactly, but we shout out to Asda. Cheers for this. We had our shopping delivered, and I was like, I didn't order it. So I was just accepting the door like you, just be like, yeah, you got a few subs today, cool. I started taking it in, divvying out all the bags and that, giving back the crate or the totes that you give me. And I'm like, oh, this is it's not a lot of shopping, is it? I was like, maybe she did a small shop. Fine. So I put it away, and my partner came back and she looked through the fridge and was like, there's half the shop missing. Like we didn't get any frozen stuff. Most of the fridge stuff is not right or missing.
Yeah.
So I called Asda up, and they're like, our driver's still on the road. I'll see if he can get him to come back. Didn't hear anything back. So I went to the shop in Yarmouth, right? And the driver, he's come back, and he mysteriously had like 2 or 3 totes of shopping left over from his delivery, and went, well, that's normal. And he didn't bother to he didn't even bother to take it back. So I had to then go into Asda and continue my shop on foot. So I was picking, and I had this member of staff walking behind me, and at every possible point, she would say, "Well, you've got this on your order. I'll tell you what, you can have the better one. Yeah, but just remember, we're giving you the better item." It's like, hang on, I'm doing the fucking job you were paid to do for you.
Yeah.
So let's just calm down on the trying to get me with the better brand shit. But yeah, that was a good time.
I would love to know. I don't know anyone ever listens who is one of these, but when the guys come, like I never know how long they should really be there. So it's always a bit of a race. I'm always like, I've got to do this quick.
Yeah.
So like I usually grab. Because I don't know if the way they stand there, they always look like they're in a rush.
Yeah.
Like they're just they plonk it on you, and what they do usually is that they don't even they get it out, plonk it all up outside the door, then ring the bell.
Yeah.
So like already you're behind. So you answer the door. So I grab it, I run in, and then I'm like, I don't even get time to put stuff away. I just throw it all in one space.
Yeah.
So I want to give them the clothes back and get out of there. But
yeah.
I don't know. I wonder. I'd love to know how long they get allocated there, because I'm just like as quick as I can. It's like a big rush. Whereas if I knew that they were there for 10 minutes, I'd be like, do you want a cup of tea? I'm gonna put it away while here, like take my time.
Yeah.
But I imagine they're in a rush.
I always got the impression when I worked at Tesco's, when I'd give the shopping to the drivers to then load up into the van, normally at Christmas. To be fair, it is Christmas, so they're always going to be rushed, but they always seem like they were just absolutely chomping at the bit to go and get out and do.
Oh yeah, get it. So because it's a lot of actually effort, really. Isn't it? So someone's got to go and how does it work? Do they get a list and they have to go and pick it all for you?
So how it worked at Tesco's was I didn't have much experience this before I started basically being able to help out the .com team, they were called. I thought a member of staff gets an entire list of shopping for a customer and they just do their shop and then take it to the van. But no, you get segments of people's shops.
Oh,
so you had like a big shopping trolley and you had like, I think it was 6 totes. And all the totes had different symbols on them. And you would scan the symbol, and then it would tell you what the next item in that person's shop was. You put that
makes sense.
And then you scan it again to confirm that it's gone in. Then another symbol turns up. You scan that symbol. It's someone else's shopping. And then you're doing like 6 people shopping at once, but different portions of it.
And do you pick it from the shelves in the store?
Yeah. That's what.
See, I would have thought that by now, how big that has got, that they would, I guess it's like space, but like if you like Amazon, for instance, like the Amazon building, everything just comes down on a big machine. Because you think, like, I guess, and that's why they do a tote system, is so they can, because if I order, say, a piece of fruit and then a beer, they're like the both ends, and so obviously their system must kind of know roughly where they are and what aisles and give them stuff within that aisles. So that makes sense. But it's a laborious job, isn't it? Like to get a full shop. Because it can take you, when you're shopping, it can take you like an hour if you're walking around getting all your bits and bobs.
Especially if you in like being male. I don't go into a shop going, right, I'm getting this, I'm getting that, I'm getting this, I'm just looking at stuff and I'm putting it in the trolley.
Exactly. You're not really creating any proper meals. You're a bit hungry at the time, so you're like, oh, I could eat that now. If I ever do a shop, which is rare, like I'll grab stuff from like the local shop. My missus does the main shop, but if I was to go out and do a shop, you'd probably get 2 days worth of proper food and a lot of like snacks. Like there wouldn't be many coherent meals.
No,
it would just be like what, and there would definitely be probably about 50 to 100 quid worth of stuff in there that we didn't need, that I thought looked good at the time.
I'm exactly the same. I'll literally pick stuff up and I'll get back home, and like a day later I'm going, what am I actually going to do with that? There's been no plan there. It's just like, that looked cool, I fancy that. There's no meal.
There's no putting a meal together in my head, putting one meal together. So, say you to do a chili or whatever, to go out and shop for those. But then if you're like, I've got to put 10 meals together in different places and get that for that, mate, you're practically a chef when you're doing that.
You basically are. And you're not only a chef,
running a restaurant.
Yeah, you're basically running the gaff. You're getting you're purchasing the stuff. You happen to go and physically get it. You're cooking it potentially. You're planning the meals. You got it all. You really have. But it's this. It's a strange thing with males. I feel like it is mostly men who do that.
We're not good at that. Most of us. I guess unless that's your trade, maybe if you are a chef or something like, or if I had to plan out a week's worth of meals, and it just wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be a good shop.
And before I properly worked at Tesco's, I would always fall foul of, like, they have the promotion ends. And you walk past it, you go, that looks good, I'm having that. But now I've worked at Tesco's, I know how much research, how much basically, not fear of missing out, but they put all these items on there, and normally all the items have fucking brilliant margins for them, and they put them on there as like, these people will buy this certain stuff, so make sure that there's a lot
there. Everything within a supermarket, every single item and every shelf is there for a reason, isn't it? Like, I remember this, like the bread and the milk, and that's usually in the middle, because that's the bits you mainly need, so you walk past all the other stuff to get that. enticing you to like buy more of a stuff.
Yeah, and I think some of the supermarkets, I don't know if Tesco still do it, but I assume they do. You'll have certain manufacturers or brands of food that are going to be on promotion on the ends. So they sometimes send people out to see where they are on the ends, like how it's displayed, is the point of sale stuff on. I once had a bloke turn up from Lurpak, and he was telling me that I needed to put more point of sale on the shelf, and he said the label for it needs to be more central. And I was like, he literally walked up to me in a Lurpak like gilet, and I was like, wow, this guy's full kit. And I was like, I don't know whether to listen to him or not, because he could be just some absolute crazy
nutter.
Yeah, like absolute butter fiend who just loves to have butter displayed how he wants it to be displayed. So I had to go and ask my manager.
That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? If you could film it, it'd be a great YouTube channel. If you just dress up in like the full gear, like so you just either Lurpak or Coca-Cola or whatever, mate. The Cadbury consultant, just go full gear and just go in and be like, right, little team meeting, get them together and be like, what we need to do. You're doing okay, but this needs to go here. Your Smarties are not good.
No,
the visibility is been very poor.
We can't be having the Kit Kats right next to the dairy milk. Okay, it's not going to happen. It can't fly. We're not having it.
We're all with Nestle. We need to be moving that stuff right along.
Yeah. I mean, we give you shop quite a good deal on a few of those bars, so we would expect some good real estate space in return.
To go slightly off tangent, but it's kind of related. I remember watching another documentary about
That's it. Declined.
A documentary about this this guy. So what he used to do, he'd specifically target Pizza Huts,
right?
And he would go in and he I don't know how he found out about it, but he was like, I'm the auditor.
Right, okay.
And he'd go to where's the and then so he'd approach you as ever on the till, and he'd be like, I'm from like head office, and he'd have some head office paper. And he'd be like, I'm here to audit and like just do the accounts, and they would just let him go in and do it. And he used to just get all the money, all the takings for the day, and he'd do it like he got so good at doing it and so confident at doing it, and he did it for like hundreds of stores. He did get caught and locked up for it, but he was like doing like 20 grand a time. Just go in and be like, I've come to audit, because it's a weird thing to say. And then he'd be like, need to get the bat and be like, get me this, get me that. All right, what's the take-ins for the day? And ask them all these questions, and then be like, I need to cash up with the till and the safe and all this, and he'd just get as much money as he could out of them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But like in a big chain like that, people just do, don't they? They don't know, so they follow. If someone comes in and they're like they're from an authority.
Yeah, a lot of it is confidence as well, isn't it? If someone comes up like, right, I need to see your books because I'm here doing the audit. Oh, okay. It's crazy.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, Bex, just to go back to the substitutes just briefly. Bex says, I ordered cat food on my delivery during the lockdown and they substitute it with fish food. Quality. It's a pet.
Yeah, I mean that's a piss take, isn't it?
Yeah, that is 100%.
Absolute. That is just someone going, I'm gonna fuck with this person. Because it's what the cat eats. The cat would eat the fish.
Yeah. It's not even like the fish food. I think is like just flakes, isn't it? Bits of protein.
Yeah. So I've literally got. So I need to feed my fish now. Actually, it's literally you could give a cat pretty much any. Give them any meat, like chicken, tuna, any sort of meat would have been absolutely fine. Tin of tuna, they'd have loved it.
Yeah.
But my cats will die than eat fish food.
No, yeah, they're just not interested.
Dog food. Give them dog food. They'd be better off eating that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Jessie said after that, we had that all the time when I was working at Waitrose. I'm assuming she meant the scenario with the Lurpak guy that I was talking about. Don't know if it was specifically the same
Yeah,
guy
people
from
coming
Lower
in.
Pack just traveling all around the country.
Yeah, imagine the more expensive places like your M&S and Ocado and all that. Like I feel like they're gonna have more reps turn up in the full gear.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like it'd be more commonplace.
Full
Oh,
gear.
someone needs to do that. It'd be so funny.
All the gear, no idea.
Full Clover kit.
A Clover. That's yeah. I don't think I was just taken aback. I was like, I've never had anyone from a brand come up to me and tell me that the point of sale is not correct. Like, fair play.
Yeah,
You're
I
paying
did
for it.
for a little while. I used to work for a mystery shop company.
Oh yeah, right.
But I was awful. I was literally like, it was quite a good deal. It was so random. It was so like sporadic, and I did it for a few months. But it was like a part-time role. But just maybe once a week, you could kind of pick the ones that you wanted.
Right.
But I always used to feel so sorry for the people. So basically, I remember going into like a Kodak shop once, and I have to ask them questions, and if they don't answer it specifically, I had to like mark them down and stuff. But I just always feel sorry for everyone. I'd always like, I wouldn't follow the questions completely correct, and I'd let them. I'd always give them like 10 out of 10, and most of the time I'd just go in and tell them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even do it. I'll be like, oh, I'm from the mystery shop. You've got to do this, this, and this. And they'll be like, oh, thanks a lot. So yeah, really not useful for the whole project. But,
Extra, like literally does not help them at all. But
didn't help anything. Yeah,
no.
yeah. Because it was weird because it was an external company that would pay. Yeah, DHL used to have to do it for some random places. It was always weird. It was always like one-on-one. I'd go in there and there'd be no one else about, and then like. Yeah, and I'd have to order because it'd be weird. I'd have to order something, and then they'd go and get it all sorted. And sometimes they would have to make something or do something, and I'd feel bad doing it. So I'd just be like, tell them.
Yeah.
They'd have to go and like get something and order it. And the role was you'd have to be a bit awkward and just like quiz them on stuff. It was very awkward, like one-on-one. It just didn't suit me at all. But yeah. Quite a funny little job.
Yeah, I'm sure I had probably one or two when I was working at Hughes because they were quite big on the mystery shop and stuff. Like you'd have like a debrief on your mystery shop. Months later down the line, it's like, well, you didn't answer that question correctly. You didn't do that. You didn't offer them this.
It's shit in it because it's like I get the point of it is to make you better, whatever. But like, it was just felt sneaky to me.
Yeah.
As long as you're nice, like if you're a dick, then I would get to town. I'll go full on mystery shopper galore. But generally, like 99% of people are nice.
Yeah. You could normally tell who is a mystery shopper because it's very rare that you get a mystery shopper with anyone else. Like they'd normally be alone.
Yeah.
And if they ask you a lot of questions about the product, asked you or hinted about any other stuff that you might do,
exactly right.
That was like bang. That's a mystery shopper.
Yeah. It's weird. That's what it was a weird process because it wasn't normal. So when you get the stuff through, it's like it's scripted, the questions you got to ask, and they want you to do it verbatim as well. And you're like, well, this is just weird.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't even link. You'd be like, okay, tell me about the 14 by 12 picture frame that you've got, and what's the what's the composition of it, and is it silk or gloss? And a normal person just wouldn't go in and ask those things.
No. The fact you got to learn a script as well. You're like literally like so what's your 2x4s? How much are they, and what quality wood do you use?
Sure. They tell you just okay.
Is that right?
Thank you.
Right? Yeah, thank you very much. Just got a shopping list here. I've got to just remember.
I just need to tick 10 out of 10 for that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh. Well, I think we'll
one of my jobs that I've forgotten.
Oh, go on.
No, that was another one that was linked to that was I used to, I can't remember what it's through. I used to knock on people's doors and do questionnaires.
Oh, wow. Weird. Yeah, that is.
That's one. But do you know what? Generally, I don't even know. I had to hit a quota, and these questionnaires would always be random. So so it would be like for different research stuff. But like, I never really knew what it was for. So it'd be just weird. Like, imagine how untrustworthy is that? Like a random guy like me knocking on your door, going, "Have you got?" And it's just a numbers game. So like, you would get people. I'll be like, I've got to do this questionnaire. I'll be quite honest with people, and I'll be like, I just got 10 minutes. Like, it's free, whatever. I just need to ask you 20 questions. But most people don't want to do that because it's like they feel like, why is this weird person asking me stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was for like research for different things, but very weird.
Yeah,
I didn't last long doing that.
Yeah, the thought of that now is just crazy as well.
I don't think you could do that now.
No, I don't even think I've had like charities knock on the door before, and they're basically people that travel across the UK trying to get people to engage with the charity through like donations, or like their new thing is like the monthly subscription to a charity. And you could just tell like they're not actually part of the charity. They're more a salesperson.
Commission.
Yeah,
they'll get. And I give to charity anyway, so it's like I never feel guilty about not giving to those. But what cracks me up about them is they can't just ask you anymore. They can't just go, "Oh, hi, with this charity." They like come up with ways to trick you.
Yeah.
Not trick you to sign up, but trick you to get in conversation with them.
Yeah.
So like they make you feel awkward basically, so that you start talking with them, and then once the talking process, they can lure you in and get you. But like, I've had it. You walk past, all right, mate. They ask you something, and you like, you don't want to be rude.
Yeah.
They've asked you a question, and as a human, if we get asked a question, we want to answer it. And they're like, "Oh, I like your top. Where did you get that from?" And you're like, fuck. Like, do I be rude and walk past them and be a dick?
Yeah.
Or do I just say, but if you stop and have a 1 minute conversation, then they're in.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, they start pretending they want to talk to you, which they don't.
No.
They want to sign you up.
Yeah. They know what they're doing.
But fair play to them. They need to make some cash. So.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll leave it there for today. It's been an interesting episode. Always is. If you're affected by ULEZ, I do feel sorry for you. It looks like Dan's vehicle's not going to be.
I'm so annoyed about
that. By literally 2 weeks. That's disgusting.
2 weeks. That's pissed me off.
Yeah. Sorry you could be here for this episode, Dan. But I guess you learned it before you actually tried to take it into London and then got charged.
Yeah, that's good. A bit of research, and no, I won't be taking it in.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. We'll see you in the next one. Up the APMA. See you later. Bye-bye.
Ciao.